Hey everyone, it's Wendy Alexander with the My WHIM Life show, where we share wisdom, humor, inspiration, and motivation in order to help you go after the life you want. So today my guest is Julie Franke. Correct?
Yes.
Just want to make sure. I don't always pronounce things right all the time, but
Actually, most people pronounce it wrong, so you did a good job.
fantastic. Look at me. So she and I are in some networking groups together, and I have heard amazing things about her, and I desperately wanted to get her on the show to help share her goodness. So, Julie, tell us a little bit about you.
All right, I am a person who has lived a lot of lives. So I always feel like I don't even know how to begin with who I am because I've changed so much. So I started off as a teacher. I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. I was a homeschool mom for a while, and now I own businesses. And every single part of my life was like a complete part of my life. Mm-hmm. And then it changed into something else.
Yeah. Do you feel like through the experiences that you've had that you actually love the opportunity to change, or is it still something that you struggle with when it happens?
No, I really like change, and I think it makes for a better. I think it makes for better experiences because I don't just have this tunnel vision of what's happening. I can look back and say, oh, well, as a business owner, I can relate to my customers better because, if they're, it depends on the situation, but if they're in a different stage of life, maybe I've been part of that stage of life. And so it helps me to relate a little better to people. And but I like change. I'm weird.
Yeah, no, I'm very much, I like change a lot as well. Mm-hmm. And so I totally get that. Most people, it's a really almost traumatizing experience to go through that kind of change, starting over, especially with, kids or careers or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's really challenging for a lot of people. What do you think you love most about change?
I like to do new things, and if it's change, that means it's something new and exciting. I like the shiny things and the fun things to learn, and I'm not good at the mundane.
Yeah.
So change means something fun and fresh. That's not to say that I don't, continue on with things or like stick to things.
Sure.
I managed to stay being a mom all these years. Didn't give them up, but I do.
Although some days I'm sure you're like, could we give you back or turn you in for a
at
new
least
model?
one of them, yeah, at least one. But I like. There are some things that I like the lastingness. I think I like adding new things less than getting rid of stuff. I like to add on to the repertoire of all the things I can do.
Yeah. So the first thing you said that you did was be a teacher. Mm-hmm. What did you love about that?
I look back now on it, I'm not sure. But at the time, I really enjoyed the creative process. I like planning, I like organizing, I really like teaching, I like kids. I taught 3rd and 4th grade. So it was, it's something I was really passionate about. I've changed personally that I don't think that that's a lifestyle I'd ever go back to.
Sure.
But while I did it, I really loved it.
Yeah.
It was, I think just because different every day.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. It's always the change of, new students, new class, new subjects, et cetera.
Absolutely. Do you feel like you have taken teaching along with you into your other endeavors?
For sure.
Yeah.
So, I homeschooled. So obviously that was, a direct one-to-one correlation.
Yeah.
Right now I have actually a few businesses. One of the businesses I have, I spend a lot of time teaching for it. And I like public speaking. I like getting up and teaching for the things that I do. And I think that's where the teaching part always was.
Yeah.
So I think that just kind of came along with me, maybe in a different manner than I started with, but it came along.
Yeah, absolutely. I find definitely like what I got my degree in. Even though I didn't go down that path that I thought I was going to forever, which, at the time, when you're in college or just starting your first career, you think that this is the be all end all. You have no idea what kind of an adventure you're about to move into in this adulting life.
I agree, and I don't know that I ever thought I would teach forever. I knew what I didn't want to do. Like, I knew I didn't want to go into administration, or I wasn't looking for to move up traditionally into teaching.
Sure.
I don't know that I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I knew what I didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that helped.
Which I think is almost more important than knowing what you do, because then at least the path that you take is you've eliminated this whole panel of options. And some people are so like, I don't know. I've never tried that, so I don't know. And they don't ever get that clarity, at least for a much longer period of time. So knowing what you don't want is really powerful.
And I would say that I spend a lot of time trying to figure out, like, okay, let's just get rid of this stuff. I don't always am not clear about how to move forward, but at least I can get rid of stuff.
Perfect.
Makes life easier, I guess.
Absolutely. Makes that window of possibilities a little bit smaller. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you do now.
Okay, so I have 3 companies.
Okay.
Almost. So I own a credit card processing company. My husband started the company 20 years ago or so, and then I took over, and I've been running it for about 5 years now. And I started working with him about 10 years ago. And I started a social media management company by accident. And for real, it was the most backwards way to start a business. I had clients, and I never really started the business. And then I, kind of went the backwards way and finally realized I needed to make it into a business.
Yeah.
And then I'm opening a co-work space in Eagle. Hopefully in May, June. It's under construction right now.
Oh my gosh, how exciting!
Yeah, I'm very
exciting.
Excited. Yeah.
So what kind of opportunities are going to be available in that co-work space?
So it seems like most of the businesses I have, or all the businesses, don't really go together. In my mind, they go together, though, because I really have a passion for business growth. Especially for women. I want to see women entrepreneurs succeed. I want to see them grow their business, and I want to be part of it. So in the processing side, I'm part of it. On the payment side, on the social media side, I'm somebody who can help them grow their brand. And in the co-work space, it's a place for people who are just starting out or don't really have the funds or the need for a full-time space. So really my goal is that business owners will come in and use my space to grow their business. So the amenities will be like open workspace, conference space, meeting space, and podcast room.
Oh, fantastic. That will be great. Probably a little better than my little at-home studio.
This is lovely, actually. And I was sitting here thinking, I kind of like the chairs. Maybe I need to do like this kind of a setup. So right now the walls are being built, so there's no furniture or anything. So now I've still got to think about
ideas.
Yeah, and there's never. I love the idea. So one of the networking groups we're in is Polka Dot, and their philosophy is abundance.
Yes.
I don't think that there's ever going to be too many of something. That we're all providing opportunity, and we're providing a place for business owners to grow, employees to grow, people to grow.
Yeah.
And I just want to cooperate and be part of that network and connection with everybody around.
Yeah, so. I love that. I literally celebrate that all the time with my real estate team. It's one of the first things that I talk about, even when I'm considering, bringing other agents onto our team, or if we're talking about an event that we've got coming up or whatever we're doing. I remind them all the time, if you are not in a space where you can believe that there is more than enough for all of us, this probably isn't the right space for you, because I drip that out of my being. Yeah, I just know that there's more than enough.
There's definitely more than enough. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Sure.
I don't know everything.
Right.
And we can't be masters of all. And so I try to be masters of the few things that I can do and be a resource for the things that I can't, you know, and to dole out to other people. And sometimes I feel like all I do is give away my business. Like, let me give this to somebody else who I think will do a better job. But for real, I really do genuinely want to see businesses grow.
Sure.
And that's the purpose of the co-work space. I had the space. Yeah. And it was either I had to move out or I had to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
So I just thought that made a lot of sense, and it really went with the mission that I have overall.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And a lot of it, you know, you can work in together or offer as a conjunction, you know, people who need the social media help and need a place to start, because those beginning startup entrepreneurs need literally all the resources.
I agree. And I've been working with other people who I know in other types of business services, that finding out more about what they do so that I can have a resource that I can refer, because obviously I don't do everything. So the things that I don't do, I want to make sure that somebody else is there. And, you know, there is a limit to hours in the day. There's only so much I can do. So there needs to be other people to fill the gaps and be able to help out. So that's a little bit about what I do, and I feel like it's not very much, but then I'm really tired at the end of the day, so it must be a lot.
No, I think that is definitely a lot.
It is.
Definitely a lot. Obviously, that's plenty to do, and you have kids at home still.
I do.
So are you still doing any homeschooling, or are you like, please?
No. Okay.
Spread your wings.
I was elected to be a homeschooler again in the last 12 months.
I was wondering.
Yes, and I was not very happy about that. And I loved homeschooling, but that was just a season of life that's been behind us for a while now. No, I was really glad when the kids went back to school. And my high schooler goes back to school in a week, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
He's ready. I'm ready. Although I do think that with COVID, it did allow us a little bit more, I'm not really sure what the word is. My kids didn't react as harshly to all of a sudden having to be at home. We've done this before. Right. This wasn't a new thing. It was like, oh, we've already had kind of a weird lifestyle before. Let's just do it again.
Right.
Not to say everything was perfect, but I did think that it helped, the fact that we kind of embraced change and just said, you know, we're going to do what's right for this season of life, and it did help them embrace it a little bit more. They were all happy to see their friends again when they went back to school.
Yeah, I think, there was definitely some, you know, back and forth. This is good, this is bad, this is rough, this is, you know, fantastic. So I think a lot of families experience that, you know, not just ones, you know, especially ones who had never experienced a homeschool situation.
I agree, and it wasn't intimidating to me. I didn't look at homeschool and think, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? I just thought, oh my gosh, we're doing this again. But it was fine. It went really well, and like I said, I was really glad when they went back to school, because I really do have work to do, and it was hard to juggle all of that when they were home.
I'm sure.
But
I'm sure.
No, I don't know that I would homeschool again full time. I don't know. Who knows? Life takes you in lots of different directions.
Right. Yeah. You go wherever you're led.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So obviously you're super busy and trying to keep a lot of balls going in the air at all times. What are some of the tools and tricks that you use to stay organized, motivated, and moving forward?
Well, I have a few tricks, and one of them is that I just move forward. Sometimes it's not great. Sometimes it's like just barely keeping up with what's next on the schedule. I do keep a strict schedule isn't the right word. I keep a calendar, and I follow my calendar. I write everything down. Sometimes I overbook myself, but at least I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I try to keep that block schedule. I'm not as good as I'd like to be, but I do block my days that I have one, you know, each day has its own assigned task.
Yes.
And I try to keep that on top of it. I write a lot of lists. I recently bought, it's called a Remarkable. It's a digital notebook because my assistant said, you have a lot of notebooks.
You're like, oh, yes.
Yeah, so I tried to consolidate that recently, so at least all my lists are in the same place. But I write lists. I like to write lists that say things like make a list, so I can at least cross one thing off.
Right.
I do.
love that.
I like to, feel a sense of accomplishment. I'm not super spontaneous. I do have things scheduled, and I know what's coming next, and
Right.
I have a mental view of my calendar too. That's really helpful, I think.
Yeah. But if your husband came to you and said, "Surprise, we're going to go out to dinner,"
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
That I could totally do.
Just trying to gauge the level of spontaneity.
And I try not to book my evenings too much. My kids have activities. One thing that COVID taught me, though, was I like to be at home at night.
Yeah.
I'm much more productive in the day when I have that downtime at night, instead of running around networking or
Right.
whatever I was doing before. I don't even remember what I did a year ago.
Well, it's been more than a year.
I know. I'm trying to think, what was I doing every night? I don't know. But so that has helped me to slow down a little bit and realize that actually I'm more productive when I have that downtime in the afternoon. And I do try to schedule downtime. I don't know how other people do it, but I put it on my calendar.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite downtime activities?
Well,
Your little luxuries.
I like to get my nails done, which I'm hiding mine right now because they're not done. I like to get a massage. I also like the deprivation tanks. I go to Stillwater Float Center. Love it.
Yeah.
And I just like that meditation, that shut off. So
Yeah, with the water. There's something about water, right?
I agree.
Oh, there's just something about water that makes my life happy.
Well, there's a lot of rain out. There's a lot of water out.
That's a very different kind of water.
Well, I mean, I guess we're going to embrace it and just say, this is the water I need in my life.
Right. There you go.
But no, I just like to, I like to do things that are pretty low key. I don't have anything really crazy that, it's just shutting down, going outside, watching my kids play. Those are all just quiet things I like. I pretend I'm a gardener.
Yeah.
So that's coming up soon.
Yeah. Good. I know.
Maybe I'll grow something new this year.
That sounds fabulous. I have some seeds sitting on my counter just waiting to go
I say
in the
I'm a
ground.
pretend gardener because I don't plant seeds. I plant things that already are growing and are easy, like tomatoes.
Right.
Or the fruit bushes. What are they? Fruit.
Well, it depends.
I have
Raspberries?
I have a very large garden that existed when I moved in my house.
Oh, nice. So you're like, I just cultivate.
I do.
I don't create, I cultivate.
The raspberries were already there, the blackberries were already there, but I feel a sense of accomplishment when I'm out there gardening.
That's awesome. Well, there's something to be said, I think, though, for getting your hands in the dirt and connecting to things at a soil foundational level.
I agree.
That just really lets you breathe.
And I used to say that plants would come to my house to die slowly, like that was their death.
That's what they do now at mine. So
But so when I all of a sudden move into this house and I've got a garden, I'm like, oh man, how is this going to work out? Am I going to kill all of these? But I haven't, and I've really enjoyed just being out there. Maybe I'm not a good gardener. Maybe my berries could be a little sweeter, more plentiful. I don't know.
you're like, it's
But
fine.
I've enjoyed it, so I am looking forward to the spring and getting to do a little bit more gardening.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's really honestly so few women who have learned the benefit of that self-care and how powerful it really is to actually create more space for creativity and innovation. And I tell my team all the time, I get a massage every month. Like, it's
that's
not negotiable for me at this point, because I know that for me, it's really hard to shut that down all the way up until when I'm, getting into bed. My head is just spinning. And so I have to have something that will completely take me out of that.
I am really trying to focus on, I'm good at self-care, but I haven't gotten away from the I need to work for it. Like, I have to earn that self-care, where really I don't need to work to get self-care. I don't need to work for rest.
Right.
I can just rest because I need rest. So, I'm getting there. It's a process, but I at least intellectually know that I deserve it. I don't need to work for it. But
thank you for saying that. Like, that's so powerful for so many people.
And somebody said it to me. I mean, it wasn't like I thought of that, but I did think that was really powerful. Like, oh yeah, I deserve to have that just the same way I want my kids to have it, my husband. I don't look at them and go, well, you didn't do enough stuff today. I don't know that I'm going to give that to you. I would never, but why do we look at ourselves that way?
Yeah, because when we say it about someone else, it sounds absurd.
Exactly. And I would never, but I'm very happy to say it about myself.
Yeah. Of course.
So that's a process. I'll keep working on it.
Absolutely. Do you have any regular routines, non-negotiable things that you're like, this has to happen in my life in order to feel like I'm on track and moving forward?
I would say I don't think there's anything that's absolutely non-negotiable. I go to the gym every morning. I wouldn't do anything else. I'd only sleep. So it's non-negotiable in that I wake up and I go.
Right.
But I go to bed. I don't stay up super late. So, but again, if a situation arose, my family is non-negotiable. The giving up my family time. Yeah. Now, if I give up a dinner here and there, that's fine. But I would never give up being able to spend time with my family regularly.
Right.
So.
Yeah. You're like, I'm driven, but I'm not quite.
Yeah. I know some people, you hear about Steve Jobs or people who are very, very rigid.
Right.
They're very successful. So I don't know that I want to be that rigid, but I want to be that successful. So, it's a balance, right?
Like, well, we're going to meet somewhere in the middle with that.
So I do try to keep a pretty strict routine, though. I get up about the same time every day, try to go to bed at the same time every day. Weekends are kind of out the window.
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely common feelings. Well, tell everybody a little bit about how they can get a hold of you and find out more about your co-working space moving forward.
Okay, so my co-working space is called 9 to 5, and I am on all the social medias as 9 to 5 co-work. Now I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 9 to 5 co-work. We should be opening in, I think it's going to be June now. I had some delays in construction.
Yeah,
as we know,
happens.
Materials. So I think it'll be closer to June. And I'm on all the social medias for my business. All of my business names are the business names on social media. But 9 to 5 is the one that I'm trying to cultivate the most right now. And I'm trying to get some more people interested. And I'm excited to open it. I'm excited to provide that community and collaboration with the community.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to be part of it.
That is so exciting. I can't wait either. I just want to go see your new space.
It'll be fun.
It'll be great.
Well, hopefully my design style is as good as it is in person as it is in my head. I've got all these ideas. I need my head to get out into the building.
Right. Oh, I love it. Well, last question that I love to ask, because it's such a perspective for each person. How do you give back?
I give back by my time. I have a few things that I'm really passionate about, and I always think, I don't really do anything. But I do.
Yeah.
I'm a Rotarian, and right now I'm in a club that we're working on mentoring high school students. And I like to volunteer with my kids, whatever they're doing. They are all scouts, and I have all boys, so they're all scouts, and I've been active in scouting for a really long time with them. I really love it, so I forget that it's like a volunteer type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's really fun for me. I just like to give my time.
Yeah.
And I never have enough to give.
Never. I know. I'm always, do I have time for this? Do I have a treasure for this? Do I, how can I give in this situation that I feel passionate about but don't, maybe either I don't have the resources or I don't have the time, or, I'm always looking for another way to collaborate or do things in that giving side of things. I think that's a really important piece of my story, is I always want to make sure that I am giving when I can.
And I think time is so precious to everybody that I do really feel like I'm giving something of myself if I give up my time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, it was super awesome having you here. I am so excited for your co-working space. You have to keep us in the loop so that we know exactly when you're opening, so we can go shout you out.
I wish that they had that they could give you a date in for sure
Right,
show up
that's
on
not
that
a
date.
thing.
So. So you guys all have to look for me,
That's right.
shouting at you.
Yeah, sounds perfect.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the My WHIM Life show today. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a moment of the goodness.